All right, boys and girls, when we talked about tops and bottoms, we talked about the point of view, the perspective, and the purpose for the author must choose when they're writing a book. So remember, let's just review. The point of view is who is telling the story. And it can be told in first person, it can be told in third person. Sometimes they'd even do it in second person, which is when you, the reader, are part of the story. First person means there's a character that's going to be telling their point of view. Third person means the narrator or somebody outside of the story is going to be telling their point of view. That is what point of view is. We're going to review this today with one of the stories that we have that's written in a very different way. The other thing is, whoever's telling that point of view is going to probably add some of their perspective in. And that's what that character or the author's feelings are about specific topics or details that come up in the text. So perspective is the feelings that that character has or the feelings that the author has. And a lot of the times when you have this point of view, if the narrator is telling the story in third person, you might get a little bit of the author's perspective. If the character is telling it in first person, you're going to get that character's perspective. All right, so here's what we're going to do today. We're going to review these two point of view and perspective with a special story that I think is pretty neat. It's called Hey Little Ant. Now, if you can tell right now by looking at the cover of Hey Little Ant, what perspective do you think that we're going to see, or whose point of view is going to be telling us telling us the story? If you look at it, look how big the eyes are. Look how big the nose is. This face is very large. Whose perspective would this cover be coming from? Who's going to think that this boy's face is pretty large? This little ant. And what's happening is this story is so interesting, the way that the author wrote it. And it's written by Philip and Hannah Hoose. They wrote it from both of their perspectives. So we're going to see the boy's point of view and we're going to see the ant's point of view, and you're going to be able to hear their feelings in this story. The one thing that I like about this, and the reason why I'm sharing this with you, is because when we read the story, it actually tells you whose point of view. So the kid is going to say this. So you're going to get the perspective of the kid. All right, then on another page, the ant's point of view is coming out. So you're going to get the perspective of the ant because it says ant right here. So this book is written a bit differently because it's actually telling you whose point of view you're going to hear from, and then you'll get their perspective, their feelings about the whole entire episode that's happening. All right, so this is a pretty cool book. We'll be right back to talk about point of view and perspective with the story, Hey Little Ant. My story today is called Hey Little Ant, and we're going to talk about the point of view and the perspective of this book. Are you ready? All right. As I told you, it's written from different points of view. So this is the first page. It says, Hey, little ant down in the crack. Can you hear me? Can you talk back? See my shoe? Can you see that? Well, now it's gonna squish you flat. So if you're looking at the kid's point of view, because he's the one talking right now, how does he feel about that ant? He's gonna squish it. So does he like it? No. So see, you're seeing different perspective too. Now we get the ant's point of view. Here's the little ant. How do you think he feels? The ant says, Please, oh please, do not squish me. Change your mind and let me be. I'm on my way with a crumble of pie. Please, oh please, don't make me die. Excuse me. So how does he feel about the boy? He's asking, Please, please, don't kill me. Because all he wants to do is take this crumble of pie, maybe to his family. So see his perspective? This picture is almost too big for me to show you without going like that.
So who do you think's looking at this boy? The ant is. The kid says, anyone knows that ants can't feel. You're so tiny, you don't look real. I'm so big and you're so small. I don't think it'll hurt at all. So how does he feel about that ant? You can tell from just the things he's saying, from his point of view. You know the perspective he feels about the ant. All right, ready? Here's this picture. Look how big it is. Who do you think's looking at the boy? The ant. The ant said, but you are a giant and giants can't know how it feels to be a little ant. Come down close. I think you'll see me. That you are I'm sorry, let me do that one again. Come down close. I think you'll see that you are very much like me. What does he mean by that? An ant and a boy? How are they alike? The kid said, are you crazy? Me like you? I have a home and a family too. You're just a speck that runs around. No one would care if my foot came down. So he, from his perspective, thinks ants aren't very important. There's that. The ant says, oh, big friend, you are so wrong. My nestmates need me because I am strong. I dig our nest and feed baby ants too. I must not die beneath your shoe. So what did he say that they have alike? They both are needed in their families. The kid's point of view. But my mom says that ants are rude. They carry off our picnic food. They steal our chips and breadcrumbs too. It's good if I squish a crook like you. And what do you think the ant's gonna say? What's gonna be his point of view and perspective? Hey, I'm not a crook, kid. Read my lips. Sometimes ants need crumbs and chips. One little chip can feed my town. So please don't make your shoe come down. So he's saying, I don't need that much. I can just take one little chip and it'll feed my whole entire town. The kid says, but all my friends squish ants each day. Squishing ants is a game we play. They're looking at me. They're listening too. They all say that I should squish you. Little bit of peer pressure there. Look at this. Look, the perspective has changed. Now who's the big guy? The ant. I can see you're big and strong. Decide for yourself what's right and wrong. If you were me and I were you, what would you want me to do? So he's saying, look at from my point of view, from my feelings, from my perspective. If you were the little tiny ant and I was the big kid, what would you want me to do? I love that. Good question. There's the shoe. What do you think he's going to do? Should the ant get squished? Should the ant go free? It's up to the kid, not up to me. We'll leave the kid with the raised up shoe. What do you think that kid should do? So do you think he should consider the ant's feelings? Or do you think he should just squish it? All right, let's find out. Look what they did. They put a song at the end, but they didn't tell us what happened. What do we call that when the author gives us some clues, but then you have to use your schema to try to figure it out? We call that making an inference. So what's your inference? Do you think the kid did that? Or do you think he listened to the perspective of the ant? I love that story. All right, thanks for joining me today. Bye.